teamed up with my biggest enemy, but to know why, we need to go back to the time where my empire was destroyed by the same man. The actions of my empire had brought Vanguard SMP to complete destruction. Even Mova agreed that this chaos is too much for the server to handle, so we signed a peace treaty to finally end this war. After we were done talking about the peace treaty, he told me about a very interesting proposal he had for me.
Listen, Aris, Vanguard SMP has been destroyed, and it seems the end of the server is on the horizon. So how about you and me team up to finally end this season so that Vanguard can continue its life in a more prettier world?
I was not expecting that. I knew I couldn't trust that. I mean, we've literally been at war for months and now he wants us to be teammates? He would have to have a good reason for me to even trust him a little. Oh, he really is serious about this. I was not expecting him to give up his most valuable item he had, the dragon egg. I suppose I can maybe trust him a little, but I won't let my guard down near him. Movai had to leave for vacation for a few weeks, so in his absence I ended up making a plan which would hopefully secure us our victory. The plan was to destroy any farm or base that can produce resources for the players to keep fighting, which at the end would hopefully force them to surrender. Even I ended up destroying my own base that I've kept secret for months. After I was done with that, I got an interesting DM from my old team. They wanted my help with something. They told me they want to 3v1 me with Cat Family, but in the middle of the fight they would betray him and kill him. The reason is because Disco got ambushed by Moai's old team in the end some time ago. Disco also told me this would be his last fight, before he has to leave the server for months. Him saying that made me really think about my actions. Who am I to team with a person that has been our enemy for months? But there's no going back now. This is who I am. A monster that kills everything in its path. I agreed to help them, and this is how it all went. They are now going to betray Cat Family. It's time to watch. Cat Family has no chance. I can see cracks form in his armor already. This is it for him. Goodbye, Disco. I told my last goodbyes to Coffee Parrot. Maybe we'll see each other one day again. Now that I was done with that, I decided to set my sights on Moai's old team. I told them to meet up so we can do a little trade. I know they would fall for this, as I have been relatively peaceful for weeks now. I ended up not directly attacking them, but rather wait for them to make a move, and after a while, they did. One of them ended up running, and as I chased the other one, I figured out an easier solution to this. I ended up asking him to give up his gaps and not spare him, and surprisingly, he accepted. The reason I did this was because in the future I wanted to try and join their team so I can figure out every bit of information they have. The next day I got a message from a new player who was recently added. He challenged me to a 1v1 and I took this as an opportunity to drain them of even more resources. I felt so confident I went into this fight without the dragon egg. That was pretty easy, but anyways, Molly has returned from vacation so we can now continue our plans together. The first thing we did was destroy our gold farm. They managed to find this gold farm and were using it for themselves to get golden apples. Next thing we did was travel to the world border to build a new base there. After we set up the base, I got called by the leader of the opposing team. He told me his team needs desperate help as they fear Moai will kill them all, so I asked if I could join his team and he said he would let me if I could win this 2v1. Feeling confident, I took the 2v1. had won the fight and they let me onto the team, but whilst I was just chilling, I went through a portal and this happened. They tried trapping me, but instead of just killing them, I asked why they did this. They told me this was apparently a test for me. I didn't really get it, but anyways, we're officially team now, so it's time to get as much information as possible. They ended up giving me their base codes, but instead of me going in and attacking them, I sent them away. This way, I can keep my trust with them. I ended up going to the base to fake attack them away so they would never think we are secret teammates. After fighting for a bit, I ended up running away so we don't waste resources, but this plan went successful. We ended up doing the same thing to a few other bases that I have made. The end of the server was near, so we ended up making some traps near spawn to use at the finale. We ended up making a fall trap and a few other caster traps. We were finally ready to end this season once and for all. The final day has come. It's finally time to end this season. I'm always going to be fighting alone for a while, so I made sure to supply with a ton of notch apples. Everything was leading up to this point, so it's time to end this. I made sure to not hit him away a lot, so he doesn't die, but it's also believable for my teammates. The first trap failed, but we still had more. Well, I had to run, he was losing resources, so it was time for me to finally step in. I had to lead them to our last trap and regroup with Moa. One of them died and the other one ran, so we took this as a perfect opportunity to restock. Our victory was inevitable, so in order to give them a chance, I came up with an idea. I gave them the dragon egg to give them that one last bit of hope. This is it, our last fight on this season. We had one more trap left, we're going to try and pull it. Their team shattered. I let Moai finish it off by 1v1ing the last enemy in an honorable 1v1. As this fight went on, I thought about everything that has happened until this point. This has been quite a long journey, but it seems it's finally going to end here. And as for Moai, we have been enemies for over a year, but I think it's finally time to move on and have some change. I think both of us would benefit if we finally end this long war and can finally start a new era. An era where I can be teammates.